All right, the next part of our little session here is warming up the body. So we did a body scan in the last video. So now we're going to warm up the body. So take your arms and just swing them really carefree, back and forth. This warms up your spine, back and forth, maybe up and down. Maybe put your arms up and go to either side. Just really carefree movement, not thinking about anything right or wrong or anything like that. Next thing we're going to do is just a simple forward fold. So we're still standing with our heels grounded to the ground, and we're just going to go forward. Don't force yourself, don't do anything, just simply go forward. Hang your head and your body. Okay, so I'll move this down a little bit. Oops. Step back, so just forward. If you can touch the ground, that's great. But at this point, you just want to have your body hanging, no engagement of your knees or anything like that. Just let everything go. Okay? The next thing we're going to do is some standing things. This is for our balance, especially if you are a person that practices standing, which is great for you. Starting with a body scan like this is going to get you standing in the right position to be able to let you practice longer so you don't get tension in your body. So this is called tree pose. So first thing is, let's just do it with just our arms. So up like a tree. So you can either go like this, you can go like this, you can go back a little bit. So think of a tree. You can wave your arms like tree in the wind. Okay? And then we want to come to steady. And then from here, take your right knee up. So right knee up. And just hold that as high as you can. If you need to take your arms down to steady your knee, that is fine. And for an extra challenge, if you wanted to grab your instrument and try to play something, I mean, cello and bass might be a little bit more difficult, but I challenge you to do that. So this develops really good core and really good balance. It's good for your brain, it's good for your left leg, it's good for a lot of things. All right, we're going to put our right leg down. Now we're going to do the same thing with our left leg. So our left leg up. Okay, you can do it with your arms up. You can do this. Whatever you can do. If you're wobbling, that's okay. That's normal. You can use your arms to hold. The next level of this would be to take your leg, whatever leg is up, and go out to the side and look the opposite direction. That opens up your hips. And then back to the center. And then shake it out. Okay? The next thing we're going to do is another kind of forward fold. So we're going to do our forward fold just like we did before. So you fold forward with me. And this time, if you can grab your big toes with these two fingers, so I'll show you. You want to grab your big toes with these two fingers while you're forward. That's going to help you stretch out your backs of your legs. And stay down there maybe for 5 whole breaths. And the next level of that would be to do a nice forward fold, and then instead of putting your fingers around like this, you would put your hand like that underneath your foot while you're forward. So let's do that. Forward fold. And put your hand underneath your feet all the way up to the crease of your wrist. Relax your neck. And here's a place where you can engage your kneecaps. Count to 5. Take 5 whole breaths there. All right, and come on up. We always want to go back to our standing, our body scan stance. With our feet flat on the floor, you want to feel your heels, your toes. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to kind of go sideways and take your feet maybe 5 feet apart, and we're going to do star pose. So basically it's like making a star with your body. So you have your feet separated apart, and then you take your arms out, just like that. So from here, we go forward fold, and each of our arms touches our toes, just like that. And then we're going to twist our star. So you take your right arm and you touch your left leg or your left toes. So we'll do that first. Stay down here and count to 5. Take 5 breaths while you do it. Okay, back up, and now we want to take our left arm and go to our right toes. And down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and up. We'll go back to our normal stand like that. So we've done a lot of warming up our spine, warming up the backs of our legs, and the back of our spine, our lower back and stuff like that. Now we're going to we're going to try to open up our arms. So with this, you just need to be against a wall. This is really, really good for string players. So that's what all of this is targeted towards. Musicians as a whole, but string players. As string players, we either hold our arm up, or we do a lot of this, either this way or this way, and it makes this part of our arms very, very tight. If you touch it, they're probably a little sore. So I'm going to carry you with me as I go to the wall here. So for here, hopefully you can see me, yeah. Find a wall, and you want to let's do your right arm first. So finger nails towards the wall. Actually, no, let's do palm towards the wall. Straight out, your fingers away from you, and just pull back. Don't do it hard, but you should feel a nice stretch all the way up your arm, all the way into your shoulder. You want to hold this. I always say 5, so a count of 5 breaths. Okay? Right here. This is where you should feel that. 1. Big, deep breaths. 2. 3. 4. 5. Okay, and this one you can do, I'm not going to do all of them, but you can do this one at different angles. So here we'll get a little bit lower. Here gets a little bit higher. And you can also turn your fingernails towards, and that does our wrists. We're going to do that in a little bit. And then you can do your other arm. So I'll take you on the other side. So our other arm, our left arm, against the wall. And some of you may not be able to be as stretchy as I am. I do this a lot, so I'm pretty stretchy. But even if you can do just a little bit, that's great. I just do this because I do it a lot and it feels really good on my violin playing shoulders. Okay, so you want to count to 5 again. Again, if you want, whatever you do on one side, you should always do on the other side. So if you did the high one and the low one on this side, you should also do that on on the other side, you should also do that on this side. Okay. So we're about at 4 and 5. So you can also put your wrist towards the wall. Good. All right, let's move back to where we were. The next thing we're going to do is all about stretching out that part of your shoulder. So you can do this on the ground or you can do this on the steps. I'll show you both ways. So I'm going to take you out of here. I'm going to set you up down here. So from here, you can, if you have something to prop yourself up on, that's great. If you don't, you can do it with a pillow, you can do it with whatever. I happen to have 2 blocks. So from here, you put the 2 blocks on the floor, and then kind of like if you ever lean down and just watch TV like this, you kind of want to do the same thing. You want to put your elbows on here, like, you want to do that with your elbows, and you're kind of leaning down, and then from here, you just lean back and put your head down, and that will get a really big stretch right here. So I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so that's a really good stretch you can do. The other way you could do it is on the steps, which actually maybe I'll show that to you at a different time. If you don't have any of these things, it's really easy to do it on the steps as well. All right. Now we're going to do some wrist stuff. So this is also really good for musicians. So let's go on our knees and put our hands straight down. And with this, you want to be, we call this tabletop, so you want this to be on 4, your shoulders underneath your knees, and your hands straight down. And with this, you have your hands flat, and you want to kind of roll forward and back, and your hands are flat like that. So forward gives you a stretch here, forward and back, forward and back. And you can also do this flipping your hands down. So you can do the same thing. Now that one might hurt a little bit. So if it hurts, don't do it a lot. Okay? So let's do the one forward. And we'll go forward and back 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that should give you some nice stretches out with this wrist. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is lay down. So we're going to lay down completely flat. And with this, you want to be over here. With this, I don't know if you can see me laying down, but we're going to move this way and this way. I'll actually show you this standing up, because you can't see me on the ground like that. So you're going to do this laying down. I'm going to do this standing up. You're going to just lay down, put your arms straight up, and then go down to the right. But you're doing this while you're laying down. This is a really good stretch here, especially if you're standing a lot. And it's easier to do while you lay down. And then back to the middle, and other side. And one side you may be able to go further than the other. That's normal. And back to the middle. So do that one more time. Go to the right. Again, you're laying down. Center. And left. Center. Okay. Last thing we're going to do today is do standing. You can stand back up. We're going to stand and stretch out our fingers and our hands and our wrists. So this stretch is pretty normal. Hopefully you guys do this, but put your arms straight out. This is my left arm. Pull your fingers towards your body. Again, so you guys may not be able to go that far. I'm pretty stretchy, so if you can't go that far, don't hurt yourself. And then the right one. Okay, and the last thing we're going to do is do the same stretch, only with our palms down. Left hand pull towards your body. And right hand pull towards your body. Okay, we're going to finish out with that square breathing that we did at the very beginning. One more time. So we use this as our prop to show you a square. So deep breath in. Exhale. Deep breath in. Exhale. We'll take 2 more of those at your own speed. Feel a little bit more loose and awake within your body. This is a great thing to do before you start practicing these things that we just did.